Hi everyone, this is Dan, and in this video we're going to be starting a new corrective exercise series. We're going to be looking at correcting poor posture for the upper body, so that's mostly around the neck, the upper back and the shoulder. So this is quite common. We see this a lot of us have this kind of rounded shoulder posture, so we're kind of stooped over this way, especially those if we're working in an office and we're looking at a computer screen all day. Our head tends to jut forward, so we tend to protrude our head forward close to the screen, or if we're driving we tend to do that sometimes. I do anyway, maybe not everyone. So that's quite common. We get that a lot. We have a lot of restriction in the shoulder as a result. We can't raise our arms very high. We can't get them up as high as we can, or at least not without compensating. We tend to reach for something, or if we were in the gym and we try to push dumbbells over our head, for example, we end up with a lot of this kind of elevation of the shoulder, this kind of hunching goes on. We see a lot of that happens an awful lot. We may get pain in the kind of upper back area as well, where we're rounded a lot. Also in the neck as well, as I said earlier, where we're having to extend our neck outwards to keep ourselves looking forward. So these are all very, very common. These happen an awful lot. So in this video we're going to be looking at the muscles that have, as a result of that posture, have become very tight, they've got short, they become what we call overactive, so they're preventing other muscles, so the muscles, their opposite muscles, from doing their job, and in doing so keeping ourselves in optimal posture. Because of the posture we've been in, we've had a change in that kind of that relationship between both sides of the joints. So muscles on one side have got very, very short and stiff, and the other muscles got very, very long and become underactive, and they're not doing their job. We'll address those weaker muscles in the next video, so when we look at the activation exercises, but in this video we're going to be looking at how to calm down those muscles that have got short and tight and become very overactive. So that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. So like I said, we get this rounded shoulder position. A lot of it has to do with our scapulars, so our shoulder blades. If you look at me from the side, they should kind of be slightly tilted forward, so they kind of fit like the contour of my thoracic spine. That's like my mid spine up here, where my ribs attached to. Also, my ribs go into my upper cervix, into my thoracic spine, and the scapula should kind of almost rest against those. What happens though, if we're in this position, the scapulars end up tilting forward a lot, so they come what we call, they tip forward, so we call it anterior tipping. So they tip over this way, not that much, but they go further. So, and that kind of presents us in this position here, and as a result, our cervical spine will go forward, and our upper cervical spine will have to hyperextend so we can keep looking forward, and our shoulders itself, they end up turning further inwards this way, so they get very bound down. So all the muscles that cross my shoulder joint get very stiff, notably muscles on my chest, also some of the muscles through my back as well. So they're some of the ones that we're going to address. So like I said, we kind of end up in this position. Our shoulders turn inwards, our scapulars end up tipping forward, our cervical spine tends to bend forward or flex forward, whichever you want to call it, and as a result we end up having to extend the upper cervical spine to look forward. So that's kind of a bit of a summary of what's going on. There's a lot more technical things going on, but I'm not going to get too technical. I don't want to confuse anyone. This is just going to be a general program for everyone out there who has that kind of posture, or is having pain in the neck, shoulder, upper back. So what we're going to do first, like I said, we're going to look at the muscles that have got very, very short and stiff, and we're going to start to calm those muscles down. So that's what we're going to be doing first. So